Hello, we're coming back to the episode 3, and this is in the topic of love. We're just gonna test a little bit and see how it goes. Is there anyone here we can chat and talk to each other? Let me type to you guys, love. Just waiting a little bit and then we will get into the session soon. Two people already. Wow.
Hello, can you hear us? We have a new equipment today.
Hi. I think it's right here on time. So can you say hi to each other? Thank you for coming to our live today in the essence of the month of love, which is February. We just passed Valentine, so I was inspired to talk about love, which is a myth topic for very, very long time. So is there anyone want to share or ask or talk or let's do that as an interaction together. So again, we're here together with me. I'm Christy, MCC, ICF certified, EMCC, and other credentials that you can check up in my profile. And with Gigs together. All right, together we're here to serve, to share, to pray, to experience together, and honor to be here. So let's get into it.
Right. So today we're talking about love. We have what is love. We have what's the feeling of love. What's not love in disguise. Why is the myth of love is hurt. Unconditional love, communication with love, and being in love.
All right. Okay. So just because of people want to know what is love and the information around love for very long time. Since I remember as a little girl, I always doing that as well. But the more that we want to talk about something, is the result of something that we don't talk about. So just let's demystify. Yeah, that is the word. Demystify the topic around love together, and either you coming in later or you join live together today or rewatch it. We are honored and very happy to share and talk to you. Thank you for always be with us. So before we go into the point of what is love, let's share and let's see about what is not love first. So what is not love but disguised in the misunderstanding of love? I will share in the context of living life. So at first it will be at the time that we live in the family. We live in the family together as a student. That is the time that we believe that we fully loved by the person inside our family, which is, it may be true or it may be not true, because people, generally speaking, they don't understand what is love and still doing that daily. So when we inside our family, there is a lot of giving, receiving, but of course when we're so small, we in the position of receiving pretty much, and also we give as well. We give as a joy of existence of ourselves to the family. But what is not love in this context is the love of have you ever seen the family, the parents or the caretaker? A part of giving, providing caretaker, they have the demand of wanting somebody to do something and be someone and be something, yeah, and then possession. That is not love, because this one is so disguised and then almost like excuse to say that because I love you, that's why I control you and I demand you to do this because I believe it is good for you, or processing it, right? Or manipulate and spending it. That is not love. So majority of people thinking that why is so painful to love, but that is not love. That is something else that called demanding, forceful, possession, manipulated, not accepted, right? Because of all of that is presuppose that you not accept someone on something. And there is something about this area. It just that is the extreme end of the emotion. So let's see the other part of what is love and what is not love. The not love part is some people say the exclusion by saying that I'm gonna please you just because I love you. But that's also not love, because love, it shouldn't be pleasing or bending yourself over to please somebody, right? And that was like all clinging, like I cannot live without you. That is not also love. It's not love, because of clinging, demanding and holding on to something is not love. It's the confusion that what should do or do not, that also not love. Around that area. So far so good. We talk about what is not love. Do you want to participate or share anything with me or anyone?
When you're talking about controlling
yeah.
and demanding,
Yep.
I also thought about myself when I was a child. Well, my family sometimes they expect me to do something, and I need to do whether or not I want to or I didn't want. Well, it doesn't matter if I don't want to or if I want to. I just need to did something that they want.
Okay.
And they say that because they love me, so it's the best choice or the best thing that you should do this.
Okay.
I have listening about this for a long time.
Okay, very good. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for coming as well, guys. The point that Geek just shared with us is just sometimes our family misunderstanding by saying to us to forceful or control us or tell us to do something, and then using love as an excuse to say that because I love you, you should do this as accordingly, which is that is not the form of love. That is something else. You have to do what I want you to do, which is, I don't say that it's bad or it's good, but it's not love what I want to share. So are we clear about this, or anyone want to share anything? So we have to see that what is not love to be able to understand what is love, right? Because many people say that why love hurt, because of we all want love since we were baby, but how many people understand fully about love? Because what you just shared with me about I have to do this because they say that they love me, right. So that is control, that is demanding, so that is not love, right? Okay, so that is the part of not love. What is not love? So if anyone want to share or say anything, just let me know, okay? Or you can send me the email later, which is we will type it at the back of Pinklotus-Foundation. So that part is clear. So now let's see that what is actually love, okay? Thank you. That is anyone coming in to say hi a little bit, okay? So today we talk about the topic of love, and we just say that what is not love before. So basically it's something else that demand, control, forceful, clinging, manipulated, pleasing, and want someone to do something for you, but they're not doing. Hi, Shiani.
Hello.
Thank you for always coming in, all right?
Thank you so much.
So we talk about what is not love already. Now, there is another part that what is love. Love is a state of joy. It's a state of admiration, acceptance, a willingness to cherish something, someone. A walk in the journey, a willing to experience something, a want to spend time observing, admiring, the feeling of hopeful, feeling of comfortable, and the feeling of easy. The awareness. The love is the aware at that moment in time, the joyful, the feeling of alive, appreciation, comfortable, excitement, fulfill, content. So that is the emotional that represent love. Okay, imagine that when you were a kid in the family, how do you know that you love your parents or your parents love you?
For me is when they hug me.
When they hug you,
Yes.
okay. All right. I remember that when I learned that they love me, I saw it in the eyes. Like when they say that in the eyes of love, right? In the family. So in that moment, there is no expectation. It's just the purely admiration and experience in that moment in time together, okay? And remember that when you see in the eyes of your first pet, if you have pets, right? Your first dog, your first cat, doesn't have to be first. Many. You can see that in the eyes of love.
Right.
Through that. So that is love, and you will admire and experience the love through their cuteness, their personality, their characteristic. Is never always about the look that it need to be neat. Do you love your cat if the cat has a boogie eyes? Or I still love them.
Yeah.
Right? And is that our parents still love us when we poop and pee when we were baby? They still clean up, feed, and when we're not that present, they're still there for us, right? So that is the feeling of love. What is love is in that moment in time. So that is in the context of family. And then what is love in the context of the passion of want to do something, like the passion of become a teacher. So that is the love that you want to be, right? To experience, to share, to be at that moment with your student, with your content that you want to do, or you being an artist and you love to be an artist, so you be in the moment to paint and to present your creativity. That is the love of expressing through the painting. The love of like when we grow up a little bit, we grow up in seeing that we want to be a doctor, or we want to be a teacher, some other way in that along. And through that, we cannot love fully if we unable to love ourselves what is the love to ourselves first? Is the self-love that we actually want to accept ourselves fully, like with this weight, with this face, with this current at moment in time. That is how we start to have a self-love on ourselves. And this is a journey of taking care of ourselves, accept who we are at this moment in time, and welcoming who we can be in the future. So many people are unable to love themselves because they're thinking outside themselves before they're thinking internally. So for example, some people working so hard because avoiding something inside themselves. So that is a part of not loving. The first person is not loving yourself, which is I guess that we all experience that. By some other time we experience that we overwork, we overeat, we overly done something. That is a form of not loving. But there is other issue inside underneath it. So, and then we may think that we cannot get along with the family, and then we substitute by maybe overly exercise. Everything that is overly done is not good at all, right? So anyone see differently, you can share. So have you ever not loving yourself before?
Yes.
Okay.
Before I know self-love, I think it's like teenagers. I obsessed with games. Right.
Okay.
Because I thought that it might help me escape from reality.
Okay.
And I didn't face it or solve the problem.
Okay, yeah. So that's why so many underlying issue about possession and obsession with something. Like some people use the word love to their lover by I'm loving you, that's why you need to be with me and cling all along, instead of dealing with that issue and look at it that what is it that you want this person for. Because the form of love, you will, like when you love the art or movie, you will watching, experience it and admiring it, right? Are you admiring yourself yet? Are you observing yourself to know to the extent that what actually I love about myself, or even going to that admiration that is a little bit too far? For me, I think that are you able to fully accept yourself by looking in the mirror and saying that I love myself in every curve and every bit and every single thing? Can we do that yet? So that is something that we have to look through around that with joy. Like, okay, I gain weight a little bit, and then what is happening around here? So I accept myself that I accept. The key word of love is acceptance. Okay, so yes, we saw a couple of people out and in. Is there anyone want to share something or say something? So far so good, Kik?
So far so good. Right now we know what is not love and what is love, and what's the love for work, like a passion for your work, and mostly, and the most important is love is you have to love yourself first.
Okay, because some people told me that we like a glass of water. If we want to love somebody but our glass is empty, we cannot just give love, give that thing to anyone. So our mission in life is just to fulfill that glass full first, and then we can give and share that love to others. But in order to fulfill that grasp, we need to be able to realize our own self-love by accepting, accept the good, the bad, the ugly, the thing that need to be improved, the tapping in the shoulder a little bit, or I think I could do this better, but this time I did the best already, so I could do it next round. So that is pretty much around the self-love. But there is another element around ourselves. I'm talking about self-love, so there is another one that we need to have. It's just called self-worth, which is, this is the part that we as a human being, we never allow ourselves to be instilled in this self-love and self-value and self-worth before. Hi Selena, thank you for coming, and hi everyone that coming. So we are talking about what's love and what's not love before, and now we talking the element of ourself, which is self-love. Self-love is begin with self-acceptance. Accept who we are at this moment in time. Either it's beautiful, or it could be more beautiful, or it could be better in any way, but we just accept and appreciate that ourselves at this moment in time, from the day that we born until now, we bring ourselves to be this place in time. That is self-love, self-appreciation. And one of the things that is not love is not having self-worth. So many people trading the love of others by becoming a doormat. Have you ever heard that or see that? Because this is of Valentine's month, right? Because if you see or observe that, it's just somebody that say yes majority of the time for other people need before their own need, and that is seen to be a problem, and that is not love at all. I work with a lot of lady and men and gentlemen who is putting their self-worth issue under the mystify of love, trading their worth for the thing that they misunderstanding that is love. Because if it's real love, you will feel appreciated, you will feel easy, you will feel touched, you will feel cozy, you will feel totally accepted. Because that love, like you love the piece of art, even that is not perfect, but that is still, you love it. You love your cat or your dog, even the eye is not so symmetry or sometimes they're so sting, but you still love them and so admiring that. I'm saying this from my love to my cats, right? The eye is so not symmetry, but she's perfect in the imperfection way. So that is how we admire. Like, okay, now I'm gonna talking in the part that is I think everyone like to see about this is romantic love. How do you know that someone loves you?
The eyes.
The eyes.
First.
Yes, the eyes is the window of the heart, right? So if you know that someone loves you because of they admire you, right? They admire you for who you are in doing something daily. Like, I admire you for being you, for such an inspiration, or that will be the eye of admiration toward you, and you will feel something. You will feel good about it, right? When you're going on a date, and this part people make it so mistaken, including me in the past, that we thought that we love someone because of the look, because of the face, because of the rank, the criteria, the position, the whatever that is, because we feel proud of being with that person. But that is not love, right? Because if you feel proud of that by being close to that person, But you have to ask yourself that, are you able to admire that person for who he is or who she is? Or do you think that is the, one of your accessory to put on the shirt as a badge? That if I'm with this person, he make me feel proud or good or be materialistic. So it's a very slightly different. So far so good. Am I make it clear, or do you have anything to clarify?
So it means that when you think that you love someone, just because are you saying that you need something for that person?
Okay. Yeah, that exactly. Because you have to clarify and differentiate between, do you need something from that person, or do you admire that person? Are you proud to be next to them because of the quality of that person or the possession of that person have? Right? Okay. So I will put this in a context because of so many people still misunderstood around this. If a man or a girl go out with you and then it's happened that he or she criticizing you majority of the time of what you dress up, overdressed or underdressed, overdressed or underdressed and around that area, and then they just make a big deal around that. Is that love? No, because of they care so much about your materialistic, your personality, your look over your feeling. Because if you go out together, have you ever seen a couple who get together with the real feeling? They're going together. Sometimes women doesn't comb their hair, or just be no makeup, or some men just wearing out like a short and tracksuit pant with like just walk out of the bed, and then they just so into their world, experiencing each other without caring the outside people by what they say. Like, of course they could dress better to get out, right? But who cares? But that is how. Have you ever noticing that our parents never say that today I'm gonna love you less because of you have a boogie eyes or didn't dress properly or things like that? No, right? And same old with things that we passion to do. I want you to relate it to things that we think we love to do. We never criticize it. We just want to do it better. That is the experiential. Love is the experiential feeling that you want to be at that moment in time. So many teenagers, and including early adult or an adult, still misunderstood about what is love, because of we think that this person is like a god or goddess for themselves. But if they do not have that feeling back to you or admiring both way, and then you find yourself trapped into the relationship that you feel so smaller than the other person, that is not love. That is something else. Is like controlling, clinging, manipulating, or you using someone to do something, or the other person using you to do something. It's the same thing in the family as well. Like a lot of parents, I'm just saying that not every parents, okay, a lot of parents misunderstood the love by putting so much expectation to the kids, by wanting them to be someone or something that kids not even know that they want to do or not, forceful them to go this way, or using them as a trophy. Have you ever heard about the word trophy wife or trophy husband?
Yes.
Okay.
It's perfect husband and wife.
Yes. There is no way that no perfection in this world. We are work in progress all along. And that's when it's happened. If you use somebody to be a trophy, or you found yourself to be a trophy of somebody, you need to be aware of that, because that is not love, that is toxification. So we talk about that a little bit on this. So
And
yeah.
I still have a confused about self-worth. How this connected together? It means that we don't respect ourselves first, so we let someone else bully us.
Okay.
Is thing like that?
Because self-worth and self-love is not a practical first education when we born, and when people put us into the school to learn about self-love, to learn about self-worth. So we just have the fundamental and the rules of culture to say that as a children we need to follow the rules and we need to follow what the adults say. So even that sometimes people didn't have a bad intention, but there were conditions that they received before by kid cannot speak up. You do not speak up because of this is the place of adult, and then when that is being conditioned long enough, that person is unable to speak. So that is become the ability of not be able to love themselves. So that reflecting it that when you cannot speak, you unable to value yourself. You cannot say it out loud, which is a couple of weeks ago we talked about. So voice it out, right? So not that we intend to not love ourselves, but the environment around us, it doesn't grow us into the point or groom us or teach us into the way that we should be aware of our own self-worth, because it's never been promoted even in the old time, right? Is there anyone want to share or say something or find similar? You can type it and then I will do my best to answer. And this is if you just come in, this is we under the Pinklotus-Foundation in the topic of love, and now we're talking about self-love and self-worth. It just say that why we do that to ourselves. Do we consciously, do we intentionally not put our self-worth first, because we didn't know this concept before, and we let life drag us around because someone told us that this is important, that we need to follow. Like you need to follow and listening to the family, everything, even that is stuck with our heart, and we not like for example, some family might want their children to be a doctor, but the heart of the kid might want to be an artist, and they're not even there to say it out loud that I have the right to be an artist. So that is a different part of you unable to love yourself and worth for yourself because of the condition outside. But whatever is happened to you by the time that you're growing up is not your fault, but when you grow up, it's 100% that you need to aware and love yourself and care for yourself more. Okay, all right. So that is self-worth. I make self-worth okay?
Yes.
Okay, self-worth is the value yourself, value your own feeling, value your own needs and want and drive and passion inside yourself, and hearing yourself saying things in that, rather than only hearing somebody else outside, like you should marry that guy or you should marry that girl because it's the time and she should be a great mother or he could produce a lot of money, but actually your heart doesn't go for them. You should listen to your heart, but how you can differentiate between listening to your heart and outside world, that is the time that yesterday I met a friend, and then she's allowed her son to be able to do what he loves. He's about to go into the next level of his education, and he want to be artist. But when she sent her kid back home on the other side of her family, and the family kind of forceful by saying, put the opinion that he can be many things more than just an artist. And then that is a guilt trip for the kid to feel lesser to be artist. And that is how society and how condition and how people, how family thinking that they love them, and then projecting and expecting and implant something that is not right for the kid, that the kid want to do. So they didn't hear, and then kids create doubt in their head that so now artist is not good. I can be a doctor, but my heart doesn't want to be a doctor. I want to be free, but they say that that's cool, that allow the freedom. It's not so good. I should be in the discipline and constricted school. So what is it? Right? So love is begin by you listening to your own self. What is it? And accept and value what it need. Even other people didn't think that is the right thing, or it can be better. So that's my definition of self-worth and self-love through the time of almost 8 years that I work on this personal development. Right, so are we good? Should we move on?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so there is the myth of why being in love is hurt. Why love is hurt. So because of we talked at the beginning that because we often misunderstood the love. Like with this kid, it might be if he got into some engineering school and then he realized later that he doesn't like to study this, that how he could perceive that love hurt, because he believes somebody who implants something that is not belong to him, right? But that is in terms of the family and the expectation. But that is not love. Expectation is not love. You have to challenge people to be able to be free to think for themselves. So with that point is why love hurt. People believe that if you love someone, you need to be patient. So the whole thing that why love hurts, that is the myth, right? The truth is, what belief under love that is cause you hurt. Okay, I say it again. So guys, if you're in here with us, thank you very much, and I'm honored to be here with you guys. What belief that constrict us to believe that love is hurt? Okay, is there anyone sharing with me? I have one. Love. If you love someone, you have to be patient. Okay, it is border the line though. Holding the space and patient is different. Okay, all right. So holding the space is just holding the space for the other person and for us to be fully us. Patient or suppressing, I don't know which one that you're doing, because so many people misunderstood it. Patient for bad behavior and thinking that is a love to be patient. Like some abusive family that the husband hit the wife or the wife hit the husband or vice versa, cheating, and I need to be patient and stay put because of that is called love. You may laugh coming to this part, but there are so many people believe that, and then I will be patient with him or her until he or her stop that behavior. Right? Have you heard about that?
Yes.
But in the meantime, you never say anything. There should be agreement of love. Agreement, not the restriction or rule. Agreement mean you agree together. Restriction is someone put something to constrict, to regulate, and to forceful the other one to do so. Which one do you have? And that is not love. Okay. So that one of the belief that is patient. We should hold space, right? What is the underline of belief that make love so torture? What else? No one chat with me at all?
If you have something to share, you can type it down and we can talk about that. So maybe you can find your own answers.
Right. Okay. So other belief that is thinking that is love is just I want the best and I know the best. So I'll force them to do what I told. And that is the belief that mistaken of love, because it's not love. If you have to forceful somebody to do something, it is not love. Okay? Or manipulate. That is, you want something from someone, and that is disguising or use love as an excuse to say love. It is the same thing with I have to stay in this work because of I love my family so much and they provide us very good, and I need to be here. So they constrict themselves, they limit themselves under the disguise and the bullshit of the word love, which is the misunderstood. Right.
Hello, Shianit.
Okay.
Is for me, holding a space is my choice.
My choice.
Me and my boyfriend believe that private space is a way to recover our feeling.
Okay. Yeah. Holding. Thank you very much for sharing. Holding the space. It has so many ways to do though. Holding the space by you still. And I'm talking in the context of lover and romantic one. When the other person find difficult to processing the love, the feeling, and they are the woman or the man holding the space by let them processing feeling without forceful to get the answer. And there is a word that people say, caveman. Can you hear? Have you ever heard that?
No.
Man cave, sorry, not caveman. Man cave. The man need a space to processing, which is the same thing. Women need the space to processing their own feeling as well. Holding the space is just like allow the person to processing their own information and feeling without having to feel forceful or tense or urged to make a decision. And knowing that it's a safe space for me to be able to process however long that I want to do so. So that is holding the space. It's quite the same thing with the parents that able to let the kid be in their own room and then spend time with their art, with their school, with everything. That is how they're called holding space as well. So the act of not forceful to get the result immediately, that is holding the space, which is that perfect. And especially in the romantic life, in the husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, that is the best gift that you could ever give it to the others, because if the other side know that it's okay to processing and it's safe and it's fine, people will be very good in that way. Yeah.
I have one.
Okay.
For belief that love is hurt. For me, in my past, I think for myself is illusion.
Illusion. Okay. Can you explain me more a bit?
It's like when that person do something nice for me, I thought that because he loved me, but actually maybe he wants something from me, or I can be a benefit for him, or and I fell into that illusion, and many times that I found myself that I cry a lot because things change.
Okay, all right, that's exactly what we're talking about, because we often have our thought and feeling and interpretation in our head one thing and holding that so close without knowing and recognize what is actually happening, right? So many people coming to me for a relationship coach or broken relationship or things like that, and then they say that they couldn't let this go and things like that, even men or women. So pretty much it's just like Geek just said, the person that they think they love in their head, in their mind, is not the same person that they live together.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Like in my mind, I thinking that my husband is this and this and this and this, and kind, gentle, handsome, and hopeful and things like that. That's in my mind, and I married this guy, suppose. But he's about to go and cry. But the point is, in reality, he beat me. No, this is not my story about it. Just saying, he beat me.
Just an example.
He beat me. He hit me. He humiliated me. He disrespect me. But I am not able to accept the reality. I live so long in my fantasy or in my illusion. For you, if I can say it, just we misinterpret the sign of giving to us, either giving the sweet word or sweet act or something to be loved, without knowing the intention behind of it. So that is quite different, because everyone can do everything good, but to do good in a long time, that require patience, love, and consistent, right? Giving one time is okay.
Shayani say that illusion of love is very dangerous. It's not true, but I believe it's true. I used to be that person. Lucky me.
Yeah, I think everyone. Thank you for sharing.
I grew up with that guy.
Thank you for sharing, because that's the part of learning curve, though, especially that no education that ever teach about love for real, right? So we're gonna have to try and error a couple of times and talk, and that's why love is a topic that everyone want to know about it, but everyone's scared of talking about it, and it's so intangible. But we can measure it by our real feeling, so that is important. But to be able to successful in love in the family or in the relationship or in the pathway that you choose, first and foremost, that you need to be able to admire yourself, accept yourself, and know what you want, and have the courage to walk toward what you want and what you need. Because otherwise, if you lack inside those illusional, those delusional, those one kind word, one kind act will spin us and spun us around, and then we become spun in that situation and didn't see what we want. We only see what he or she want us to see. So this is a romantic love, and it's kind of fun, right? I didn't think that I'm gonna talk into this thing a lot, right? Learn from her, so true, yeah. Trial and error, and then make it for better, until we know who we need to be in order to be loved. But the love that is we need the most is our self-love. Because when you know your standard, though, that I need to get the good love, I need to get the self-respect. And if you're able to respect yourself, no other lower standard that you will accept it at all. But the point is that society never teach human. I'm saying human, every races, every gender, every ages. They need to be fundamentally feel loved and feel respected.
Right.
So that was like that. And is there any myth around the believing that is that love is hurt, a part of patient in the wrong time and misinterpreted illusion and lack of self-love and self-worth for ourselves. So that's why we accept the low quality.
Oh, I have one.
Yeah.
I think most of Asian women have is what's it called? Endurance.
Endurance. Okay. Yeah. So that is like close to patient, but it's actually not just Asian though. It's actually in worldwide. The society believes that women need to be able to endure or suffer through. And that is like not just women or not just men. It's both sides, but women because in the past you have one too. Please chat. Yeah, need. Because if we believe that way we've been implanted since we was a kid that as a mother or as a father we need to be endure and suffer through to keep the family together. That was like so many people believe that. But the fact is that if you endure or suffer through the family, how can you raise the family? You're gonna raise the family with suffer, and the kid will suffer not experiencing love. Right. And I'm not saying that you should break up or anything, but you should solving it. What is your value? What is your standard in life? What is how do you feel love? Which is very important in every relationship, not just the romantic relationship. Is in the workplace as well. Like how do you feel love and respect between your co-worker? That is like you need to be able to watch it out. Like last 2 weeks or 4 weeks ago that we talked twice about this topic, because if you're unable to talk to people around that area, so they don't know the standard, you will suffer. But suffer is mean doing the same thing, suffering the same old things again and again, and that is becomes stupidity because it doesn't go anywhere. Right. So what do you have one too, huh? Do you have one, right, Yanit? So let me know. Or in that one, like endurance. So suffering through what else? Suffering through patience, not having a standard in life, and expectation. Pretty much is suffer through. Because if you feel not so good, you have to identify that what is it. But now we're not talking about solving it, right? We're talking about love today. So how to feel self-love all the time. Aware ourselves, where we are, what we're doing, how far that we come into life, and how far we want to go. So that is how we can keep our self-love and self-worth intact and accept where we are at this moment in time. Doesn't mean that we're bashing ourselves for not going where we want to be fast enough, or we just poor me, I couldn't go yet. But accepted that this is how far we come. And then we still have a couple of steps to go for where we want to be, and enjoy the ride. So that is how we're able to experience, because love is the experiencing state, right? So if we're able to experience our full potential, like this is how my body is at this moment, and I have goal to take care and love my body this way, and this is how I achieve in my life, and I still have goal to become more, to be something that I want, but I'm on the way. So when the first thing that you accepted yourself, you will know where else that you could do and could be. So that is the first step of self-love. And you know that you worth more than what other people say. So when you know what you are, what you're capable to do, whenever people say that you can or you can't, it doesn't affect you. Right? And if you have to endure or suffer through your colleagues from time to time, you have to make sure that you know your right, you know your standard. So you can love yourself and communicate that standard to the person that you choose to endure them. Right? So like, I love my family, and then if they come late again and again and again, and I know that I shouldn't be treated like this, so I would say that this is the third time that you late, 45 minutes each time, and I don't think I deserve this thing. Next time is you late like this, we better cancel this and then we see it next round. Yeah, but say it nicely, say it with your standard intact. That's why we talk about voice it out before we talk about love, because love is a fundamental of self-love and self-worth, right? So and so many other myths. If you in love with something, like, okay, if you in love of studying and then you felt so suffer of studying, and then you start to feel that why love is suffering. So acknowledge that that is not love, that is your expectation, and you're not in the moment of enjoyment of studying. In everything, love is pure, it's experiential, it's hopeful, it's aware. It's no expectation. It's admiration of something, someone that you feel for, or that they feel for you. So it should be bliss. And we actually born as a love person. We're not born as a something else. So love is a natural and flow state. Okay, all right.
Hello.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you so much for watching us.
Hi, Debbie. I know. Right. Okay. And we talk about being in love. Being in love right now. I'm passing through this a little bit and pieces. Like being in love is a state. It's different than the word that you tell your family or your boyfriend, your loved one, to say that you love them, right? I love you. But being in love is the state. You can love your husband and your wife, and when you walk back from home, and then you can say something lavishing, not nice. That's because of you not in the state of being in love, right? Like for example, that today is a hard work for me, hard day for me. But I came home, I know that my loving husband gonna be at home. But when I step in and he doesn't have the food like he told me before that he had it at home, so I start to communicate with him with angry. So that is the state of I'm not in the state of being in love. I were in the state of I'm hungry and no food. So that is the state of lacking love. Because hungry or water, but that is not a justification, right? So in order to be able to communicate with love though, how we can do this? You need to remind yourself of being in love state, experiential, right?
Can you elaborate that a little bit?
Okay, all right. So being in love state is just imagine that when you, like for me, I love nature. When I'm in the nature and soaking my feet into the ocean or to the waterfall, I am present. I'm aware. So that is being in love state. I'm present, I'm aware. I enjoy, I observing, I appreciate, and gratitude that I were there. And I'm just admiring each leaf, water, how clear and how cold is it. And I want to spend time to cherishing the nature. How is that possible that you're going to be in the state of being in love all the time? Do you think is that possible? No, because we as human, right, we have up and down, but we have to have the ability to come back to the present state of being in love of ourselves majority of the time. So you could make it like I do it nowadays, like wake up, each time I look at the mirror, brush my teeth and get myself ready. That is the state of, because I love you, that's why I'm gonna groom myself nicely and good one, and I'm gonna put the cream and everything with that is the state of being in love. And then later on, before going to sleep, I wash myself, I dry myself, I put every cream that I smell nice and everything. I am in the state of I'm being in love of myself. So being in love is in the state of awareness all the time. Like when you're gonna go, if you put the awareness as the beginning of everything, before you going back to see your mother, your father, your loved one, you going with the state of I'm gonna going in as a being in love with that particular person. Right? Before we going into the Valentine's Day, and then we give the present to the person that special for us in that day, we have to have a state of being in love, right? To give the flower or to give something, because of if that is not present, that is not being in love. That is just a passing the gift to.
It will show.
It will show because we as a human being, we feel everything.
Right.
And many times we feel that it's not right because it's not love. Because love is present, aware, accepting, appreciate,
admiring,
the willingness to experience and cherish together or one another or alone. Right? The love of art, the love of music. When you listen to the music, are you present?
Depends.
But if you're listening to your favorite music, are you present?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the being in the state of love, because you're present, aware. Like I'm doing the meditation music. When I'm doing it, I listening to every beat of it because I'm being in love with that. Or when you have a date night with your man, with your woman, you will look at him because you are in the state of love and being present with them all the way through, right? So that is pretty much being in the state of love. So through that, it will come to the communicate with love. Parents love kids though. Their love is majority of the time, and most of the people is pure and unconditional love. But the state of being in love is not always present because we are human beings. We have loads and have lots of stuff to do, but when that is not always happen, we misunderstood that that is not love, because love is not guaranteed that it's always going to be treated nice all the time because of the disappearing of the state of being in love. Am I make sense?
Yes.
With that. So do not misunderstood and then fall into the myth of love hurts, because it's not true. If you love something, I love art, even I didn't paint it nicely, I still love art. I love music, I love piano, even I didn't, sometimes I couldn't play it, I still love piano. Because that state is not matched for me. I love my mother, even sometimes I couldn't share the heart out or say the heart out like the way that I expected, because my state of being in love is not there. Yeah. So what are you feeling in that moment? And are you in that state of being in love or not? Are you able in the state of being in love in the morning to your body? Accept, appreciate, present and aware. When was the last time you can do that? Because we are in the hurry and rush there, right? The stroke of the lotion is never been a stroke. It's just more like something,
right?
So that is like, that's we call life that we didn't plan. But if we can plan it, like people go to spa, go to onsen, that is a form of self-love and self-care, which is you could schedule in. Or a form of self-care could be sit down and watching the world go by, or in the cafe. Just do the self-act of love daily, being in love at the present daily. So that is how you stay being in love. If you're able to being in love state, you will be able to communicate with love. Because you're present, you're aware, and you want to. So the communication will be increasing and you're present to the person in front of you. Like nowadays, you see the family, right? Get together, gathering, and then just eat by or using the mobile phone.
Right.
Yes, and then they are 4 members and each one carrying the mobile phone instead of I don't know that why they bother to sit down in the dinner time together, because of they not really be together. So that is not the state of love, being in love. The other things about communicated with love is come from intention and planning and aware. So that's pretty much is communicated with love. Because if you love someone, you will show admiration to share. Pretty much is how we doing love. Knowing love, doing love, being in love is the state that we want to be. Okay, so there is another one that we gonna talk about is unconditional love. Is there anyone having experience or wanna share around this unconditional love?
I have one.
Oh, yes, please.
It's for my cat.
Right.
Even though he's naughty and he's crushed me, I still love him.
Yes, because I heard the myth of the word unconditional love for a very long time, and before I believe that is like, is it true? Is it real? So basically, it wasn't a fancy or better than other love. It's just something that you just purely love that thing, admire, aware, present, want to experience, acknowledgement, hopeful, and feel joy with that living thing, that present, that person, or that thing that you love. In Geeks things is about cats, which is the same thing. We are cat person. So the cat himself or herself might not do much, might not even sit on our lap, but it's just there, sitting there, and we just seeing it without expecting him or her to do anything, just admiring the beauty, the naughtiness, the character, the scuffiness and everything, which is the same thing with mother love. Mother love or father love is just look at us with the eyes of love, didn't expect us to be anything but hopeful for the best for us. Not always they can do that perfectly, because we are human. There will be moment. The unconditional love is the moment though. It is the moment. You cannot say that the love of parents is always gonna be unconditional love, because there will be different moment that life will become something that we'll have an expectation, we'll have something in life, but we can all experience that moment, that present in time of being loved, in love, and unconditional love. What if you can love yourself unconditionally daily, even in a single moment, that will uplifting the life forever and ever daily, because we are the source of love, we are born love, and we can send love more and more. So that is our unconditional love, and I hope and wish and hopeful and thankful for you guys to be able to enjoy the love and have the moment of unconditional love daily.
This is very touched to me. I'm going to cry now.
And thank you for watching. We just kind of freestyle, guys, today, because the topic of love is quite abstract, though.
Right.
Quite abstract. So I just want you to know that what is not love and what is love. Love is pure, present, aware, acceptance. Because I used to coach one kid, and then he's tell me that because what is actually love. I told him that I said that I love you, I admire you, and hopeful for you to be better in everything, and be present and enjoy the journey that you become this person, and still want to experience and watching your journey to be someone that I know you can be. And when you love somebody, you will look at them with the hopeful and admiration. Like if I love, let's say that you are husband and wife, and you wake up every day and then look at each other, and then you still choosing. Love is choosing that person, that thing every day. And if you find out that you're still choosing that person, choosing that thing, and that is worth your why, worth your standard, and touch you every moment that you feel for, even it wasn't easy, but you're still choosing them daily, that is love. That is how you hopeful for daily. And thank you very much for being with us. I'm so happy to deliver this content today. Thank you very much, and see you in the next 2 weeks again. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chianis, for always be with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you all. Bye bye. And contact us in Pinklotus-Foundation.น้องพิม we just gonna go now. Please watch it นะจ๊ะ love you too. And if you guys want to in touch with how to do it with our personal life, our personal development, contact me or contact Geek through Pinklotus-Foundation or Coachology. We always looking for the truth to be able to grow together and be in love together quite every moment. Love you ค่ะ bye bye. Thank you.